Hello, my name's Freddie Campbell. This is a pitch for my first book. Back in December 2012, I was working in a school. One's always very tired at the end of the winter term after a long term and all the report writing. It was a particularly difficult time for me personally, just because of personal circumstances. One night I had a very vivid dream. I woke up thinking that would make an amazing story. Straight away, an inner voice sort of said, "Write it." I had lots of excuses. I'm a teacher, I'm very tired, I'm not a writer, I'm not trained in writing. And yet the thought persisted, you should write this story. And then I thought, if I don't write it, I'll lose it, I'll just forget about it. And it will just fade away. So eventually in January 2013, I sat down and had a chance to write the first 2 pages. I started with the dream just as I saw it. To begin with, I didn't plan the whole story, I just let it unfold, rather like going on a long road trip. I knew roughly where the destination was. As soon as I got going, I found it just drew me along. There was always something new around the corner. Over a ridge there'd be a new view. It was incredibly absorbing, and in fact it was very good therapy for those troubles that I was experiencing. It became clear to me that I should write for a teenage audience, since I knew teenagers from my work. I teach geography, and geography actually became quite a strong theme in the story. I was sent away to boarding school at the tender age of 8, and many of my experiences inform the detail in the story. The story is set in the future in 2035, hence the title. In the first part, the action takes place in Birmingham, Birmingham in the future. The second part of the story takes place in an area of Scotland that I know very well as I grew up there. I imagined this area in the future. Before I was a teacher, I actually trained as an architect, and that's another thing that informs the story. This place is mentioned in Shakespeare's Macbeth, and I enjoyed making that connection. I am a visual learner, and I use that in my writing. The third part of the story takes place in Iceland, beginning with Reykjavik. I'm familiar with Iceland because I've taken school trips there over the last few years. Some of the action takes place here at Thingvellir, because this is a very significant place for Iceland. It was actually a gathering place and the seat of their government during the Viking era. I really like the idea of crowdfunding for publishing and sharing with friends and supporters the final stages of preparing a book.